So you join us here at SW Motorsports today in one of RE Performance's Gen 2 R8s, and we're fitting one of the easiest half cages of our range to fit. All it takes is to take the front seats out, and then you get these templates that are provided with the cage. There's one template for the back and one template for the floor. Essentially you need to cut some holes for the cage to go through, get the cage in. It's a very, very easy thing to do. The only thing that's not easy is the fact that you have to drill holes into it, which takes a little bit of bravery. So, the rear template goes onto this rear quarter trim here, lines up with the edge and the top. You know which side's the top because we put two little notches there. Lines up with the speaker trim, and then you just take a Sharpie, and I've already drawn it, but you draw your circle, take it away, you draw your cross on there, gives you your centre. All we're going to do first is pop a hole, slap bang in the middle of there. There we go. Now we're going to tape this up, and we're going to use a 50mm hole saw. What we're going to do though is we're going to run it backwards to start off with, just so that it cuts through this leatherette without grabbing and twisting it. Then we can switch it to the forwards direction once it's through, cut the hole in there, and it's ready for the cage to go through. So we then line up the centre hole with the pilot, go through very slowly, and then we switch the drill to the backwards position. Probably going to grab the tape a bit, but that's fine. Just go backwards now. If I pull away there, all that's going to do is it's going to start to ream that hole out using the teeth, but going backwards saves it from going, well, if it was in the forwards direction, it would grab the leather trim and it would start to twist it. So just check if we're through yet. Through on all sides apart from the bottom right. So I'm happy that we're through there, so we'll switch to the forward direction. Very carefully, very slowly. Very, very slowly. It's only soft plastic, so you just need a bit of pressure. And we're through. And then you can see directly behind our hole, perfectly in line, is the bolt hole. So once the hole's been drilled, there is a layer of sound deadening behind. Don't try and hole saw this out of the way because you may go through and hit the carbon tub, which would be bad. So, easiest thing to do, Stanley blade, just slowly cut around the inside. There's nothing in here to hit, just try and get as wide as possible hole around that bolt. Once you've got a slit in there, you can just start to pull away where you've cut. I'm probably going to need to take a bit more out of there. That's okay. You can always take more out, can't take less out. Just do it slowly but surely. Nice and easy job. Not hard, it just takes a little bit of time. Just make sure it's done right. A little bit more out of that right section there. So yeah, that should be perfectly fine. Just pushing it out of the way. Slightly rubberized. Now we just need to do the same on the other side. Now this template might seem a little bit strange at first, but locates just where the carpet comes down, the carpet comes down there, just locates in there, and it gives you a quarter of the circle where the hoop goes through there. So all we're going to do is mark that. We're going to need to pull some trims out of the way, and we're going to just put a cut there, and the hoop sits right the way back there, so we'll cut straight up there, and we'll probably just cut straight up there, and the hoop will just sit in that missing section of carpet there. It takes a little bit of time, it's better to take your time, cut slowly, cut more out if it needs cutting, but yeah, we'll do that now. Very forcefully but gently pull the carpets out from under the trim and from under the back panel, and the cage mounts in this section here. So that on both sides. Once you've trimmed your rough hole out, roughly trim the hole out a little bit smaller than you think it should be, pull the carpet back, and then we'll do the rest of the trimming and neatening up once the cage is in. So yeah, that's it for now. You shouldn't need to remove the lower seatbelt point, just pull the seatbelt forwards and out of the way. Corner mark, so I can see where the tube should go through, so just gonna trim down from here using a nice sharp blade. Trim the carpet where the bark's been made. Done both sides, pull it out from under the trims, pull away a bit of the foam that's going to be in the way. And you're ready to get the cage in and start drilling. Woo! Yeah, got it. Yeah, I've got the cage, so
right, I'm in there.
Yeah, one big junk. Yeah.
My side.
There we go. Put the original bolts back in, tighten those up. Just before you drill the holes, that the cage is pushed out and it's just skimming the trims on both sides. So it just needs a little tweak outwards, skimming the trim, and then you're ready to pass a drill through the floor, through the spreader plates, down to the underside, ready for the spreader plates to mount up to the underside. There is nothing on the underside that can get damaged by drilling through, but always just give a little feel and a check under there to make sure there is nothing, even though there isn't usually anything on these. We've had a check, so all we're going to do is we're going to pass a 10.5 or an 11mm drill bit through each one of these holes on either side, and then we're ready to bolt up the spreader plates. Once one hole's drilled, slot a bolt in. It'll just keep it located properly when you're drilling the rest of them. I've just drilled a few, so I'm going to drill the last one. Lovely. So once the holes are drilled, you'll have received some spreader plates. These sandwich the cage, then the floor, then the spreader plates, sandwiches the floor together. So you need to put the bolts facing upwards through these, so the nut side is on the inside of the car, stops things being too protruding down underneath, catching. So I'm going to pop one through, I'm going to line it up with the plate on the underside, slot the bolt through, and we're going to start nut and bolting it all together.